crazy dream about some folks who love this country, who all began to dream the same dream. And when the morning came, there arose across this nation people thinking one and the same. And they awoke to find their freedom and all their liberties had gradually been taken away. And when they realized the danger to their posterity, I heard those patriotic people say, we want this country back. We ain't just joking, Jack. We want our liberty and our dignity and our freedoms and our rights restored. We want this country back. She's been driven way off track. We're wide awake and we're madder than hell now, and we ain't gonna take it anymore. No, we're not gonna take it anymore. Remember golden days when the stars and stripes forever symbolized her glorious name, America. But now it's all been changed, and when we gaze upon her glory, it's hard to fight back feelings of shame. Work it up with lying politicians and greedy corporations who have sold us out time and again. And we're sick and tired of sending our soldiers off to wars that we were never meant to win. We want this country back. We ain't just joking, Jack. We want our liberty and our dignity and our freedoms and our rights restored. We want this country back. She's been driven way off track. We're wide awake and we're madder than hell now, and we ain't gonna take it anymore. No, we're not gonna take it anymore. Now we know our cause is right and our victory's on the way, and we won't give up the fight till we hear 200 million say, we want this country back. We ain't just joking, Jack. We want our liberty and our dignity and our freedoms and our rights restored. We want this country back.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Maggie Rose, and this is the new Concord Hour being brought to you by the Microeffect Radio Broadcasting Network. And today is Wednesday, Ladies Roundtable. And my co-host with me today is Cy. You all know Cy in the morning. She's come up in the mornings with the Microeffect, and she's also co-hosted with the owner of the Microeffect, Joe McNeil. Hello, Cy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today, and how's the family?
Oh, they're doing really good. My daughter just figured out how to ride a bicycle yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. How old is she?
She's 9.
9 years old. Oh, my goodness. Well, good for her. I tell you, it's one of those things, once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you basically, it's something that, even if you don't ride for a long time, you get back on and you manage to be able to pick it up and get going again. So it's basically a skill you never really lose.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what's the weather like in Montana right now, Cy?
Well, we're cool, overcast, got some wind. I'm south of Great Falls, and we had some rain earlier today, which is always a good thing this time of year.
Well, we sent you all of our rain. We were getting a lot of rain here in the part of the Northwest where I am, from California all the way up to Washington. We were getting rain in places that normally they don't have rain in this time of the year. and people were getting really freaked out. I know my family in California have been upset because they wanted to get in their gardens, and they were concerned that the rain was going to ruin some of the vegetable gardens that they had planted. Some of them can't take a lot of heavy rain, and I know where my dad is, Washington, he had some of his friends were saying that they were getting rain during the time of the year that they normally don't have rain. So now we're getting sun, and it seems like the weather is beginning to show nice blue skies. So I'm looking forward to having maybe not too hot of a summer. I don't know if you get really hot back in Montana where you are.
Well, we do, but it's a dry heat. It's not like the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and so there's a lot more humidity in the air there. I think the most curious thing going on right now with regards to weather and other things with the Earth is that we have 4 or 5 new volcanoes that have gone off here of late, and so. We're getting more ash that is going into our air. And, I have seen reports that people are saying that the Earth's overall temperatures are actually dropping rather than rising as global warming proponents have, in the past believed was going on.
Right. So, I guess there is something to the weather changes going on. I don't know if it's what I would call global warming, but now I don't think Donna is coming up with us today. I've tried to reach her to remind her about Wednesday Ladies Roundtable, and I did not get an answer back, so she probably had some family situations that were going on and was unable to join us today. I did receive something, Cy. There's a few things here that I want to put out to the listening audience. Number one, Bonnie Clay has informed me that the White House press office has now put out another executive order. And I want to give that website for you, Cy, and those people that want to write this down. It is https:// the word White House, again, the word White House, .gov, G-O-V, / the - press, that's P-R-E-S-S, - office, O-F-F, I-C-E, / 2016 / 07 for July, / 01 for the first day of July, / the word executive, EXECUTIVE, - like a minus sign, the word order, ORDER, - the word united, all in lowercase, UNITED, - the word state, STATES, - policy, POLICY, - pre, PRE, - AND, - post, P like in Papa, OST, - strike, STRIKE, like striking a match, - measures. So again, that's www.whitehouse.gov / the - press - office / 2016 / 07 / 01 / executive - order - united - state - policy - pre - and - post POST - strike - measures. That is something that is an executive order that just came down from Obama on July the 1st. Now, what I understand is that George Soros is sending out people that I don't even know if he paid the last people he sent to disrupt the Trump campaign and rallies that were going on in California. but he is sending people both to the Democrat convention and to the Republican convention to stir things up. He has gotten the leaders of the Black Lives Matter, and folks, Maggie Rose, I want to put out to you, all lives matter, not just Black lives. But he's sending people in the leadership of Black Lives Matter and the new Black Panther, the very violent, disruptive, prejudicial new Black Panther movement, and he's sending them to the conventions to stir things up. And that's coming, we understand that George Soros is at the head of that. And then also, what we're going to talk about today, I hope, is regarding what the Attorney General Lynch is doing. But, Cy, if you can bear with me, I would like to read something to you and the listeners. And I didn't have a chance to send this to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, folks, this came from my father-in-law, and he lives here in California, and he received it. And, folks, I only spend part of my time in California. I basically live in 3 different states, California, Oregon, and Washington. So, and I have properties in all 3. So this came from my father-in-law in California, and he received it from my mother-in-law from her sister, all of them who are also in California. Now, I'm going to read you both letters, and I want you all to listen very carefully because this is something that is absolutely precious and absolutely hilarious. A letter came from Oregon, out of Kate Brown, the governor's office, under the Department of Fish and Wildlife. It's called the Rogue Watershed District. Now, folks, you all know the Rogue River runs through Grants Pass, Oregon, and is right near Central Point, Oregon. Central Point is between Grants Pass, Oregon, and Medford, Oregon, right on the I-5 corridor, on the I-5 highway. Again, Central Point is between Medford and Ashland, and between Medford and Grants Pass. The letter was dated May 18, 2016. It was addressed to a man by the name of Larry and his wife Amanda, and I'm going to withhold the last name, folks. Again, this was addressed to Larry and his wife Amanda from the Department of Fish and Wildlife of the Rogue Watershed District for the state of Oregon. Dear landowner, the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife staff will be conducting surveys for the yellow-legged frogs, or otherwise known as the foothill yellow-legged frogs, and other amphibians over the next few months. As part of this research, we would like to survey the creek on your property. I am writing this letter to request your permission to access your property. Recent research indicates that foothill yellow-legged frogs have declined significantly in recent years and are no longer found at half of their historic sites. Your cooperation will be greatly appreciated and will help to contribute to the conservation of this important species. Please fill out the attached postage-paid postcard and let us know if you are willing to let us cross your property or not. If you have any questions or concerns about this project, please give us a call. We would love to talk with you about our research. Sincerely, Steve Nemila, Conservation Strategy Implementation Biologist. Now, here is his reply, folks. The owners of this property, Larry and Amanda. And obviously, this letter took some forethought before they mailed it out. Now, as you know, they received a letter from Steve on May the 18th. On June the 9th of this year, 2016, they responded to Steve Nemila, Conservation Strategy Implementation Biologist, Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, Rogue Watershed District, 1495 East Gregory Road in Central Point, Oregon, 97502. And the letter follows in response. Dear Mr. Nimila, thank you for your inquiry regarding accessing our property to survey for the yellow-legged frog. We may be able to help you out in this matter. We have divided our 2.26 acres into 75 equal survey units with a draw tag for each unit. Application fees are only $8 per unit after you purchase the, quote, frog survey license, unquote. $120 for residents, $180 non-residents. You will also need to obtain a, quote, frog habitat, unquote, parking permit at $10 per vehicle. You will also need a, quote, invasive species, unquote, stamp for the vehicle. $15 for the first vehicle and $5 for each additional vehicle. You will want to also register at the check station to have your vehicle inspected for non-native plant life prior to entering our property. There is also a day use fee at $5 per vehicle. If you are successful in the draw, which is like a lottery, folks, you will be notified 2 weeks in advance so you can make necessary plans and purchase your, quote, creek habitat, unquote, stamp. $18 per resident, $140 non-resident. The survey units are open between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., but you cannot commence survey until 9 a.m., and you must cease all survey activity by 1 p.m. Survey gear can only include a net with a 2-inch diameter made of 100% organic cotton netting with no longer than an 18-inch handle, non-weighted and no deeper than 6 feet from the net frame to the bottom of the net. The handles can only be made of BPA-free plastics or wooden handles. Now, after 1 p.m., you can use a net with a 3-inch diameter. If you purchase the frog net endorsement, $75 resident, $250 non-resident. Any frogs that are captured, that are released, will need to be released with an approved release device back into the environment unharmed. As of June the 1st, we are also offering draw tags for our premium survey unit. And application is again only $8 per application. However, all fees can be waived if you can verify the native, Indian, tribal rights and status. You will also need to provide evidence of successful completion of, quote, frog surveys and you, unquote. Comprehensive course on frog identification and safe handling practices and self-defense strategies for frog attack, ATTACKS. This course is offered online through an accredited program for a very nominal fee of $750. Please let us know if we can be of further assistance to you. Otherwise, we decline access to our property, but we do appreciate your inquiry. Sincerely, Larry and Amanda. And that is the end.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's rich. That's like eating Black Forest cake. turnabout was fair play.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. So, folks, anyway, I wanted to open up the show with that today. And also, Bonnie Clay wants me to let you all know that, and I've already warned some of my friends going back to the Republican convention, there is going to be, as we know, George Soros is sending people to disrupt both of the conventions. And what Cy and I are going to be talking about today is the Attorney General of Loretta Lynch and how she is turning the United Nations now. I have an article here. I don't know if you got it or not, Cy, but she is actually taking the UN fleet to so-called combat U.S. extremism. Now, she also wanted me to mention to the listening audience, and she is recording the show today to put this up on the YouTube. She wants us to mention that there's going to be a widespread protest that is supposed to happen in 37 cities, I think on Friday. And they're calling it a day of rage, R-A-G-E. They want us divided so that we won't stand together against them. If we unite as Americans, no matter what color we are, the elite, the New World Order, the Bilderbergs, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Hillarys, Obamas, they will not get their way. Again, they are trying to cause a widespread protest sometime, I think, on Friday, and they're going to be coordinated, Cy, at the same time. So if it is 2 o'clock here, it will be 3 o'clock in a major city, in the mountain time. It'll be 4 o'clock in the central time. It'll be 5 o'clock on the East Coast, and they're going to do it all coordinated at the same time, and it's called a Day of Rage. And again, they want us divided so that we won't stand together against them. We have to unite as Americans, no matter what color we are, no matter what religion we are, so the elite cannot get their way. Everyone needs to understand that they are trying to get us to fight each other so that they can then clamp down on us. Folks, I'm asking you to call your family, your friends, everybody you know across this nation. Send out emails and tell everybody, stand down. Remain peaceful and not give them a reason to call out martial law on us. What do you say, Cy?
I'd say don't even bother to show up. That would make a statement about how manipulated and contrived this whole thing is. We have hacked email messages basically connecting the Attorney General's office and Clinton and Obama to these contrived protests. You can go to, let's see, I've got it right here, the dclothesline.com/2016/07/hacked-messages-of-Black Lives Matter-leader-for-chaos-martial-law/. Guys, this is part of what Dr. Richard Day and his student later relayed that he was aware of back in the 1980s and 90s. And for those of you who remember Victor from earlier this year on the morning show, he has chimed in on this. When he was in law enforcement back in the 1980s, he knew about it. His people knew about it. Okay? So all of this contrivance that they want to be able to have the impetus to take control over state and local law enforcement, take it out of the hands of the state, and be able to create these strong cities network and the global police initiative. That's what this executive order and stuff is all about, guys. Chris Ann Hall has also chimed in on this. She has a new video out making a rallying call to put a stop to this stuff. They are committing treason. These are the same characters that were responsible for the land grabbing through the Clinton Foundation, handing over private property taking it, pushing people off using federal assets, a.k.a. the Bureau of Land Management and other organizations, pushing people off, getting the land for pennies on the dollar, and anybody they couldn't push off landed in the court system for something, like the Hammonds over the issues of fire usage. Okay, and so they either grab it or they twist your arm till you're forced to release your property, and then they take those lands because they have not only valuable, but strategic materials, uranium, thorium, substances like that underneath the ground, and hand it over to the U.S. Debt credit, the debt holders, okay, the U.S. debt holders. Okay, in several cases, one case it was China, the other case it was Russia. So, folks, homework, this is what's going on. They, at the expense of private landowners, they are creating a global governance for the corporations by the corporations of the corporations. And I've seen the maps. Most of the western United States, the population has been removed.
In fact, one of the things that we all know is that now we have found out that Bill Gates, folks, you know Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, that he and his wife have decided now they want to get involved and make investments in nuclear reactors and forming different and new updated modern nuclear reactors. And what's interesting is one of the discovered, and I can't remember the name of it, Cy, but I think it's called thorium or something. It's supposed to be a cleaner form of using a material for these nuclear reactors. And Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, along with Bill Gates and Uranium One, which is based out of Canada, discovered that underneath the Bundy Ranch, underneath the Hammond Ranch, is a huge deposit of not only uranium, but also this thorium that can be used for the nuclear reactors. No wonder they want to, not only under Agenda 21 or under the Wildlife Project or under biodiversity or under sustainability, no wonder they would like to get rid of all the ranchers, all the farmers across this nation, but especially between Nevada and Arizona and the high desert eastern Oregon, where these huge deposits of uranium and thorium and also gold and other precious materials are that they want to mine. And not only that, but once they're done doing that, they want to take many of these former family farms and ranches and turn them over to groups like Monsanto in order to do the farming of huge cooperative farms. So therefore, they control the food, they control the people. Now, Cy, we're going to go to a station break. It's at the bottom of the hour. Folks, this is Maggie Rose and Cy. We are your co-hosts today on Ladies Wednesday Roundtable on the New Concord Hour. We'll be right back with you after station break. Folks, this is Maggie Rose and Cy. We are your co-hosts today on Wednesday Ladies Roundtable. This is the New Concord Hour being brought to you by the Microeffect. We're asking you please to patronize the Microeffect. Send in your donations. Take part in the fundraiser that's going on right now. Cy, before the bottom of the hour, what Shelby, our board host engineer, played was the song Angel, Soldier's Angel by Stevie Nicks. And I would like to say something with your green light on this to those people out there. I don't care whether you served in the military or not, or in the Peace Corps, or if you are in not a militia or part of Oath Keepers as a firefighter, former firefighter, police officer, former police officer, whether you are a citizen like Cy, who in her own way has served her country for many years in ways that we cannot go into here on this show. But folks, we are all soldiers. And we are all soldiers in trying to keep and retain our country and get it to the way that we believe that our founding fathers intended for it to be. And I would like to read a few things before we go into the things, Si, on the Attorney General. My serving in the military for, 35 years in boots and 41 years has nothing to do with what many of you out there, Si, are doing. We all have served in one capacity or another, and no one person is any greater or any lesser than the part of his whole. When Spock said on Star Trek that the good of the many outweighs the good of the one, I didn't always agree on that because I believe that the one individual was always a necessary part of the whole equation. So I would like to read a few things here. And this is not only for my fellow out there. This is for all of the Americans. You are all soldiers in your own right. I am an American soldier. I am a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. I am a veteran. My oath of enlistment has no expiration date. There are no ex-soldiers. Our title is earned, never given, and what's earned is yours forever. Once a soldier, always a soldier. Just a soldier slowly losing everything that he loves and holds dearest. There is a discipline in a soldier or an American. You can see it when he walks. There is honor in being an American or in being a soldier. You hear it when he talks. There is courage in being an American or being a soldier. You can see it in their eyes. There is loyalty in being an American or in being a soldier that he or she will not compromise. There is something in an American or in a soldier that makes him or her stand apart. There is strength in being an American or being a soldier that beats in his heart. A soldier or an American is not a title that any man or woman can be hired to do. An American or a soldier is the soul of that man or woman, buried deep inside you. An American's job or a soldier's job isn't finished after an 8-hour day or a 40-hour week. An American is always an American. A soldier is always a soldier, even when she or he. An American serves her or his country, and a soldier serves her or his country first, and their life is left behind. An American or soldier has to sacrifice when it comes first in a civilian's mind. If you are an American, or you are a soldier, or you are a veteran, I am saying this to you. Thank God for every American. Thank God for every veteran. Thank God for every soldier. Thank God for what you, the Americans, do.
Amen to that.
Yes. And one of the things, Si, that we were going to try to talk about today is something that I think you also received this as well. I received this from one of your friends. It says, Attorney General Lynch, Loretta Lynch, the one who was cowardly, leaving everything up to the FBI, and the FBI said they were leaving everything up to her. Attorney General Loretta Lynch announces global police force partnership with the UN, BB4SP, during her speech at the United Nations. Attorney General Loretta Lynch announced that the Department of Justice, you think cops getting shot right now is the portent of the future? You just wait until the UN peacekeepers in blue helmets show up. There is much more to this than meets the eye. We knew since the 1980s that what the feds really wanted was the control of all local and state police. We had informants tell us that the key on the agenda was the establishment of a national federal U.S. police force under the control of the United States Attorney General. Infiltration of police departments and creation of provocation scenarios were part of the agenda. Do you think I'm kidding? Then go read The Infiltration by the notorious Nazi Albert Speer. Additionally, read what Heinrich Müller, the chief of the Gestapo, had to say about Nazi penetration into local or provincial German police departments. When Hitler came to power, the German police, who were under local or provincial control, were nationalized and brought in under the SS, and Hitler was their boss. Lynch and her boss needed to be dealt with before this goes much further. Oh, by the way, when Hitler took power, what was the first thing that happened? Well, a whole bunch of people were taken out into the woods at night and got shot in the head or in the back. The same thing happened after Lenin, Mussolini, and Stalin. So go figure. So, Cy, take it away.
Well, Obama took office. One of the things he said about doing was purging some of the top brass in the U.S. military. There's been long lists for the last 6-7 years on the internet available for everyone to read, and they would get added to as each new individual was removed from his position of service. We also have the Benghazi incident, where they attempted to allow the ambassador to be eliminated because he had finally decided he'd had enough of the gun running, taking the guns and the equipment, things like, the Toyota trucks that we later seen in the hands of ISIS or IS or whatever you'd like to call them. These people, these lunatics that have caused so much harm and damage in Europe once they were imported there, started off courtesy of Benghazi, and they were created by the same characters that are doing the land grabbing in the West, that are creating this Department of Justice global police force in order to combat violent extremism in the United States, or so they say. And it's the same characters that, have set up the Strong Cities Network. All of these things, folks, when you start digging into this paradigm, you will realize that they went crazy after World War II, that they imported through Operation Paperclip so many of these post-war Nazis and all of the East German intelligence community and installed them in organizations like the CIA in order to take advantage of their experience. Okay, and it's just grown from there. It's grown exponentially. You want to see the start of it? Oh my goodness, it's all over the place. Go read Road to Survival by William Vogt, V-O-G-T, with the introduction by Baruch. And so I'm sitting here looking at not just this article. You can find it at bb4sp.com/ag-lynch-force-force-partnership-with-un/. Now, you need to pair this up with the piece from DC Clothesline, okay, with regards to the hacked emails. You can Google DC Clothesline hacked emails. Take a really good look at those emails and the content. After that, you need to go over to yournews.wire.com/FBI-leak-Hillary-Clinton-of-treason/. It says an FBI insider has come forward claiming the Clinton Foundation has been found guilty of money laundering and fraud on a massive scale. According to an insider who says he has intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the Clinton case, FBI Director James Comey decided not to indict Hillary due to the fact that the Clinton Foundation is a, quote, massive spider web of connections and money laundering implicating hundreds of high-level people. Okay? We're talking right up through the CFR and also the World Economic Forum. If you keep on going, it's all there for everybody. Go take a look at a document titled Everybody's Business Report 2010. It's WEF, all caps, GRI, all caps, Everybody's Business report 2010.pdf. This is massive, folks. Big conspiracies are real. In fact, the bigger they are, the easier these characters have hiding it from everyone. How long has the CFR been in operation? That's the Council on Foreign Relations. How long have they been in operation? Well, we have all kinds of people that are supposedly elected officials or who have been elected officials that still operate in places such as our State Department, even after they get out of an elected position. We have John McCain, John Kerry, we have Hillary Clinton and her husband, we have Valerie Jarrett. You can keep on going. Go take a look at their membership rolls, and you'll get a really good idea of what you're dealing with. This is immense, folks. Basically, they are marginalizing each and every state in this union so that they can consolidate power at the top, eliminate the Constitution, and institute a global government in which they control not just us, but also the world. These people don't think small.
No, they don't think small. And the thing is they always have, would you not agree, Si, that for everything they have a backup plan, like a plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. And yes, they have sat, I can see them, Si, the people when they have their Bilderberg meetings, the Council on Foreign Relations, the shadow government, which even the president many times is not apprised of what is really going on with the shadow government. I can almost in my mind see them sitting around a big table, about 30 or 40 or 50 of them, and sitting there deciding and weighing, well, if we do this, can we do this, and how can we do this? And I mean, I can see them planning it. When I shut my eyes, I can see the evil that's coming out of that conference room. And we, the American people, need to stand together and not allow them to divide us, Si. It is so important that they cannot be allowed to divide we, the people.
That's right. If you are a non-white American, I want you to think about this, okay? The Black Lives Matter people out there, they think that they're doing what is right for their people, okay? And I'm telling you, folks, if you can hear me, you're being used. I'm going to use an example here that I want you to see. The characters at the top of the seat that are pitting you against white America are doing it deliberately because you are receptive to it. The Muslim part of this equation can be found at Center for Security Policy, an explanatory memorandum from the archives of the Muslim Brotherhood in America. It's Http://www.centerforsecurittypolicy.org/2013/05/25 Brotherhood. It's Muslim Brotherhood in America / Now, the first part of that document that you will end up pulling up is in Arabic. The second part of that document, about halfway down, is in English. And what you need to be looking at, if you can't read the first part, go to the second, and it will tell you virtually everything you need to know about how they're being used and what settlement is. You need to know these things. Do not just take my word for it. Go to these links. I've also posted most of the links of the pages and documents that we have discussed today on this show in the chat room. If you need them, please go ahead and pick those up there. Or you can see Bonnie for a copy of those links as well.
Right. In fact, what we're going to try to do is we're going to send those links to Bonnie, and she's going to be putting today's show up. We don't put every show up in the YouTube, but she's putting today's show up, and she will be putting those links up that Cy is giving us. And, folks, I want you to go to the YouTube when you have a chance. For any of your family or friends that have been dealing with the feds and the land grab or dealing with the spotted owl or any of these other things, and I want you to let them hear today's show when it's put up on YouTube of those two letters I read, that basically we can turn the tables on them, and we can do it in such a way that it is non-threatening, non-confrontational, but basically putting them back in their place. Don't you agree, Cy?
I agree. If we get everybody on board this year and in the next week or so, if you can reach out to everyone you know, and if we can cause this to spread exponentially across the United States, we have a hope of turning this around and avoiding civil war, everyone. If we can avoid it, if there's any opportunity or possibility, we must avoid that. But doing that, we've got to have not just the general population on board, all of the combatants on either side of the manufactured race war on board, but we must also have people from within our agencies, within the United States government, both at the state and federal level, must start looking at these things and get on board as well. It's going to take a concerted, united effort to put a stop to this, folks.
Oh, yeah.
If we don't, oh boy, heaven help us, because we'll need it.
Right. And with that said, I also want to say hello to those of you in Sedona that I visited you back in October. And also when I was, when we went to the memorial service of Lavoy in Utah, I went down into Arizona. I want to thank those of you that have let me know that you're listening here on the Microeffect. I want to say hello to Eric. I saw Eric at one of the neighborhood musical performances that was in the park the other day, and I want to say a big hello to Eric. And, folks, tomorrow, I know that Cy's going to be tuning in listening. Cy, I don't think you've had the pleasure of meeting the former fire chief Chris Briles yet. He was the one that resigned in Harney County.
Right. I remember I seen it right after it was posted, when he resigned and he spoke to the media. Oh, man. That guy had an instant 100 points, in my estimation of him.
Well, I have had the pleasure of meeting him more than once, of spending time as a guest in his home. He stood by my husband and I when we went to Harney County to get with our signed notarized statements the letters from the people that had left belongings behind, and we were able to go down and retrieve some of those belongings. He's coming back up for part 2 tomorrow here on the New Concord Hour, and we're going to be talking more about the FBI and their lies and intimidation. I mean, are we surprised now that we're seeing what the FBI director of what he has been doing and what he said at the press conference? We can't even trust the FBI, folks. I mean, I know we can't trust the CIA. I know that. But when we can't even trust the FBI, we are really in trouble when the FBI has been compromised. And we know the Attorney General Lynch, and we know the FBI director were probably threatened, or their family members were threatened for them to come back with the attitudes and the responses that they did. So, Cy, I want to thank you again for coming up today on Wednesday's Ladies Roundtable. I'm sorry that Donna was not able to join us today, but we will also be listening. Are you coming back on the radio in the morning again with Joe tomorrow?
Yes. For anybody who catches my morning show, I'm going to have to reschedule Robert, who was supposed to be on tomorrow morning. He's an electrical engineer. He won't be with us that day. I'm going to reschedule him. He had a issue with his business that he had to take care of.
Right, and that was the reason why Chris Briles was not able to come up yesterday. So, folks, this is Cy and Maggie. We are your co-hosts on Ladies Roundtable on Wednesday. You can tune in to Cy's radio program tomorrow morning here on the Microeffect. Folks, make sure you stay calm and peaceful, and make sure that we also tune into the website of AmericaAgain.net. That's AmericaAgain.net. You can also see David and his interviews on the Microeffects on the New Concord Hour based on YouTube there, if you missed any of his shows, and we'll be bringing him back again in the future. Cy, thank you so much for being a soldier for the American people. God bless you, and good night, Cy.
You're welcome. My oath did never expire.
Neither has mine. And I want to say thank you to all my fellow veterans and my brother and sister soldiers out there, my friends that are airmen, that are Navy sailors, Marine Corps Semper Fi. For those of you that are veterans in all the services, God bless you. And if you can avoid going overseas, stay home, because I think we're going to need you in the days ahead. God bless and good night.